Hey y'all, it's Dear Single Mom here, better known as Justina. And I was on Instagram earlier, and I don't know if you guys saw my stories, but I mentioned that I had gotten this pretty cool DM from an old friend, and I posted a couple of pictures. So this is what they were responding to. So let me give you the backstory. So I took a trip to Cuba for my birthday not too long ago. And if you haven't been, you should definitely visit. It's such a beautiful country. The people are awesome. The food is amazing. It doesn't look like it's been visited a lot, so it's still very much authentic. And when I was there, I had an opportunity to disconnect from the world. They don't have a lot of Wi-Fi there, so they use calling cards to make phone calls and stuff. So I did have an opportunity to talk to my family and friends, but it was just really nice to be in a room with no TV, no phone usage. Anyway, so of course I'm there, I'm taking pictures, and I get back to the States, and I wanted to share some of those moments with you all. So I upload a couple of pictures to my stories, and this person was responding to one of the pictures like, "Hey Justina, what's going on? Long time no see, looking through your photos. You look so happy." And I was like, wow, that was really nice. So I replied like, "Thank you so much, I am." So the day goes on, and I receive another message in the form of a question, which I thought was so interesting but so simple. And the question was, "How do you know?" So I posted that to my stories earlier, that I was gonna talk to you all about how I feel about the question and what my response is. And so that's what I'm gonna do here. And I don't think that happiness is a thing. I believe that happiness is a lifestyle. And I've come to this conclusion because there was a time in my life when I was very unhappy. Just unhappy with who I was, unhappy with how life was going, unhappy with those around me, and it was always everyone else's fault. So when I was unhappy, there were a few things that I did really, really good. One of those things was I was great at producing negative thoughts. I was also really good at having long negative conversations. I was also great at lacking motivation and getting up and doing anything, or being dedicated to one thing. My mind was just all over the place, very cloudy. I couldn't really stick to one thing. I didn't want to do anything. And the other thing that I was great at was criticizing myself and being really, really hard on myself, and doubting everything that I thought I wanted to do, that I thought I could do. There was just a lot of issues with my self-esteem. I just doubted myself all the time, and I criticized myself really, really hard. And so I have come to the realization that during that time in my life, I was unhappy. I don't know if then I could admit that, but now that I'm able to effectively assess the situation and what was going on in my life at the time, it's safe to say that I was very unhappy. And let me just say this. So the things that were going on in my life, some of them were within my control, and some things were completely outside of my control. I allowed the things that were outside of my control to control my thoughts. That's where the unhappiness came. And I chose not to do anything about the things that I could control. That's where the criticism came. And so it feels kind of weird to just outwardly say, "Hey, I'm happy," because it kind of comes off as, I don't know, maybe being disingenuous or, unauthentic. But you know, it's true, and I'm okay with that. Like it's taken me a while to get here, and it's been definitely a journey to even be able to talk about it because it's very personal. But at the same time, I think it's pretty cool to be able to have a conversation with you all and just give you some tips on how to check your own personal happiness. And so the first thing that I would say is limit and try not to engage in negative conversations and control the thoughts that come into your mind. It is so easy for us to have negative thoughts. It's natural, you know. I don't know why, but I think as human beings, we just naturally go towards the negative things that happen, and I don't know if it's an American thing or if it's just a, you know, human nature type of thing, but it's easy to do that. It's much more difficult to talk about and or think about positive things that either have happened or have not happened yet. But it is very easy to make up scenarios in your mind of what could possibly go wrong and how it could fail or how this could, you know, be the worst idea ever. But it's sometimes not so easy to think the opposite